Hello, welcome back to Armchair Armory, and it's just finished at the London Stadium. I should say that properly. London Stadium. West Ham United 2, Arsenal 2. This was very, very disappointing. I don't use this phrase very often because I feel like it's cliche, but today wasn't good enough. And today it felt like the title was slipping out of our hands. Very good. We were very good for the first 10-15 minutes. We let West Ham back in the game after a poor judgment by Thomas Partey, who lost the ball to Declan Rice. Spent that split second trying to appeal for a handball. When looking back at it, I don't think it was a handball. There is an argument to say that Paquetá dived, but it was definitely a soft penalty, and that got them back in the game. And it felt very much like Anfield the other Sunday, on Easter Sunday. It felt like, we were cruising, felt like we had control on the game. We were 2-0 up. We gave the opposition a goal and, let them back into the game. I feel like from that moment onwards, I'd probably say, and it's hard to sit here and say that the whole game, the whole performance was poor, but it was definitely poor from kind of like the 35th minute onwards. It just didn't look like we were in the game. It didn't look like that we couldn't put any passes together. We kept losing the ball in stupid areas. And if anyone was going to go on and win the game, it would have been West Ham. I mean, Antonio had a header around the 80th minute that just clipped off the crossbar. So, this is not something that we as Arsenal fans have been used to this season. And it's worrying because even though, yes, we're still 4 points clear at the top of the table, we have now opened the door, not necessarily wide open. It was open ajar after Liverpool last week. It's now kind of halfway open now for Manchester City, and it's definitely advantage Manchester City after today's game. And, if we don't pick up any points, or if we drop points again against Southampton in whenever it is, I think it's soon. Well, obviously it's soon, but it's midweek, isn't it? It's not on a weekend, because next weekend I think is FA Cup weekend. Yeah, it's next Thursday. So if we don't pick up any points there next Thursday against Southampton at the Emirates, the title was over, in my opinion, because I don't think we're going to beat Man City at the Etihad, or it's very unlikely that we're going to beat Man City at the Etihad. So yeah, at the moment it's definitely advantage Manchester City. I know that, after the Liverpool game there was a lot of talk around, was it 2 points dropped or was it a point gained, etc, etc. I think you could make the argument that at a stadium like Anfield it was probably a point gained given the situation, but today was definitely 2 points dropped. And I feel like every time you think, well, I saw the highlights of the City because I missed the City game against Leicester, but it looked like I think they were 3-0 down within 35 minutes or something like that. So I think that was a lost cause as it is, but still, like, I can't really see, apart from maybe Everton away and Brighton away, I can't really see Man City dropping points. And even then, it's unlikely that they're going to drop points. So this could be a pivotal moment. I really thought that we'd go into this game sort of how we have done in the past few seasons, where we've responded after after dropping points. And this felt very much like Arsenal of last season. It felt like the pressure got a bit too much for us. It felt like we were second best to everything after that penalty went in. And we've really got to fix up, because if we do want to win the title, we've got to start winning now. We can't go into, well, as I said, if we drop points against Southampton, the title's over, in my opinion. And this is why I've been saying all season that I don't think we're going to win the league, because it's situations like this when the pressure is on us, which is weird, but when it gets to the nitty gritty, this is where Arsenal fail. And this isn't an Arteta thing. This has been Arsenal since maybe 2011, something like that. Since like the latter days of Wenger, we've had this problem of where we get to the final hurdle and then we fail at the final hurdle. All we can do now is look to the next game. All we can do is look to Southampton next Thursday, and try and at least get 3 points before we go into that game against City on the 26th. But I didn't expect. I really didn't expect. I mean, well, to be fair, I thought we'd be going in with in the last 3 games. I thought we'd at least be going in with like 6 points, but 5 points is better than nothing, I suppose. 5 points is better than 2 points, but yeah, you know, we're definitely at this moment, similarly to how last season we handed Tottenham top 4, we're handing City the title at this moment in time, and it's disappointing. I don't think I'd go. I know that there's probably going to be people on AFTV and all the other channels ripping the crap out of the team and going crazy and saying that like they're bottle jobs and all this kind of stuff, but I'm not going to go as far as to say that the season's been a failure if we do end up not winning the league, because I never thought we were going to in the first place, just because of situations like this. You know, we just weren't at it today collectively. There were a few individuals that played okay. I mean, Tierney came in for Zinchenko. He played quite well. You know, apart from giving away the penalty, Gabriel was all right. You know, Gabriel Jesus was pretty good as well. Yeah, it's disappointing because we haven't really felt like this season. Again, at least we didn't lose the game, but still, dropping points 2 games in a row definitely is, you know, slowly but surely handing the title over to Man City, and we're making it hard for ourselves as we normally do. And like I said, I can't see how we're going to get anything out of the game at the Etihad, because if it comes down to that, we're going to lose, because it's the same thing that happened last season. It came down to the game at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, came up to the game at White Hart Lane of who was going to finish in the top 4. Spurs completely destroyed us and they ended up in the top 4. So I have a feeling the same thing is going to happen again. We'll go into City. We probably will beat Southampton. We'll go into the City game and get battered, and that's the title over. But today is definitely a tough one to take. And also for the fact that we were 2-0 up and we were cruising at that point, to give away 2 goals is not good. Not good enough. The joys of being an Arsenal fan. This is kind of what it feels like most of the time. This is why you don't get too excited, for those of you that have got too excited this season. Anyway, onwards and upwards, I suppose. Southampton next. We definitely need to win that game. Other than the City game, that's probably the most important game of this season so far. Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen post the City game, but yeah, we have to beat Southampton now. Alright, I'm going to leave it there. I will be back again in the week previewing Southampton, so hopefully you can enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Until then, take care and stay safe.